Hey guys, what's up? Josh Furs, Knucklepedia.com. I am here with Quentin, the hero, Henry, my man,
What's
Q.
up,
What's up, brother?
man? Another day, just trying to find an excuse to stay out of this heat and this humidity down here in Louisiana. But I try to. I'm like a lion, like on the savannah or the Sahara. It's not the savannah. I
The
don't know.
Sahara.
The savannah. That's a desert too, right? The
Uh,
Sahara, right?
uh, uh,
The lions during the day when it's super hot. They ain't moving around a lot. So I kind of lay low when the heat's up, and then I got a big machine running here. I overheat a little bit, so
yeah,
so I lay low, do my tee shop thing during the day, sell
yeah.
tees, do a little personal training here and there. I usually get me a workout in during the day, a little bit of lifting or something before I got to go train and coach at night. But yeah, man, I eat, sleep, train, chase my boys, play with my daughter. About the same.
How,
I'm
how,
dad. I'm dad like 80% of the time. I'm like coach another 15, and then the
yeah,
rest of it I'm a fighter.
yeah. I mean, how is the like the? Because I know you do like the energy teas and all that different. So how's that going? How's that business going?
Man, it's going pretty good. We got the road opened up, and then now we were having bad construction out here on the road, but now it's just starting to get hot. People are starting to get out and um, able to kind of put our name out there. The Corona hit everybody pretty hard, and
Yeah,
so it's kind of bouncing back from that. There's still people coming in. I've been here like a year, and they're like, "We didn't know you were here," and because either they weren't getting out or they just weren't driving this way for whatever reason. And but no, man, it's picking up. We're still trucking.
are they? How's like lifting the restrictions and stuff down there? Are they? Is it getting better down there as far as like the mask restrictions and things like that?
I mean, yeah, I guess we don't. We didn't really buy into it that much. I guess not right here where I am now. You go to a doctor's office, you got to wear a mask and stuff like
Sure,
that.
sure.
But for the most part, I think everybody's kind of come to their senses. So we kind of been, like our governor still has like mandates, but I don't think anybody's listening to them type
Yeah,
of thing. And the cases are going down. I got family that's working in the ERs and ICUs here, and the COVID, the Rona cases have dropped way down and stuff. So there's like, it's kind of like a sigh of relief for a lot of people. So, hopefully that's going to help business pick up and everything else. Our biggest impact we had from it was people not working.
yeah,
Like we couldn't even get like products that we sell. We couldn't get it in. And it's not that they didn't have the product. They didn't have people to work in the warehouse to ship it.
yeah.
And like, and the same thing with like where we got our cups from, and it was just wild for a little bit there, So we're still, the whole world's really kind of bouncing back, but we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm excited, and more. I guess more importantly, I guess in our line of work, I think the fight game is really starting to rebound with crowds, and it's awesome to see that full house and the roar of the crowd and the
Right.
oohs and the ahs and the oh. So
Yeah.
it's exciting to see, man. Obviously, that's last time we talked to you, man, was right before the Lieben fight. Um,
Right.
and I know we talked extensively about it, but now it's been a minute. It's all digested. You've had time to think about it. Um, do me a favor before we kind of go into what you'll be doing and what's coming up for you in the future. Like, what was that whole experience like? From that week leading up to it. The fight day and just because I know we talked about it and you wanted to give them that cool quote. They give them a beautiful death kind of thing and. Obviously, it didn't go your way, but like talk about it. Talk about that whole experience. What was it like?
Oh man, it was pretty overwhelming, more so than anything. It was like, um, and not so much like in the sense that you like when you're getting that much attention for fights and stuff. Like my phone was literally going off every minute with a new notification, and all of it every time it was about my fight that's coming up, my
Yeah,
fight that's coming up, and every time I talk to people, all they want to talk about is my fight that was coming up.
yeah,
And so that was a lot of that was just aggravating more so than anything, because most of the time when I have a fight coming up, I don't even think about it at all. Like
right.
I'm never thinking about it. I go in there and train. I don't go watch film on them usually. I just I might watch one fight. And I'm like, all right, and then after that, I just work on me type of deal. And but that you couldn't avoid.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want to see this. It's just like it's not what I enjoy seeing all the time. I like to relax, and that's
Yeah.
not something that's relaxing to me. It's work. So that was something that was weird. I had to adjust to, but I think all in all, I kind of just I let I let the hype of what the fight was supposed to be get to me instead of being smart and doing what I was supposed to do to win. I was just going out there to do what I felt like people wanted me to do, and that was to go brawl. So, and I mean that's the thing is nobody's seen it yet, and I don't expect anybody to believe me, but I'm a very very good boxer. When I stick to my boxing, um, and I didn't do any of that really in the Lieben fight, and but it was one of those fights where I didn't care because when they asked me to take the fight, I'm like, well, what sense does that make? He's only fought at 195. He's going to retire anyway, so what do I really have to gain from taking this fight? And obviously no one else wants to fight him. So, they went through that and they're like, because that's what I was asking, like, what happens after this fight? Let's say I win. I know it'd be great if I win, but let's say I lose. What are the pros outweighing the cons and stuff? And they're like, no, it doesn't matter. This is really just like a wash for you either way. But granted, you want to win, it's going to be better for you to win. And,
Yeah.
but it was more like I looked at it more like a super fight, and I didn't look at it as something that was like, something that in reality or in the fans' eyes have anything to do with the rankings. Because he's coming off a loss, I'm undefeated. He's, moving up a weight class, or he's really just not cutting weight. It's not like he hadn't fought at 205 before. But there wasn't much for me to gain off of that. Honestly, he wasn't ranked in my weight class, besides getting to fight Chris Lieben, but if you look at it on paper and don't have his name sitting there, it just from bare knuckle resume. But at the same time, I was like, huh, that's awesome. I get to fight Chris Lieben,
Yeah.
and because I like watching Chris Lieben when he gets in fights like that. I don't like watching Chris Lieben like when he fought Anderson Silva. That wasn't fun. But that's how
Right.
he beat Chris Lieben. When he fought Uriah Faber, I mean not Uriah Faber, Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun
Yeah.
to watch. Uriah Hall won. Anderson Silva won, but it just wasn't fun. And I didn't want to. I know I can do that. Could have done that, but I didn't want to do that. And it just didn't seem right because it was a retirement fight. So. I think it went pretty well. One way or another, he knows that last time I went down, he was glad I didn't get back up. I know that for a fact, and because he knew if I was going to get up, he wasn't going to be able to do it again. And that was the best that he had, and he hit me with it solid, and he didn't knock me out. I just couldn't see anymore. I
Mm.
already couldn't see out of my left eye, and then when the second shot come, I mean, it hit here, and I mean I've still got some swelling in there from it, but like I just couldn't see no more. I was going on one eye at first, and then bam, he caught me with that solid left, and I mean it was more like I was kind of off balance than it was, but like when it rocked me, and then at the same time this is boxing, so it's like it's better to go ahead and just take the knockdown and get back up than it is to try and stay up and
Right.
continue to get fucking pummeled.
Right.
Because if I would have stumbled back like a deer in the headlights trying to catch myself, he was coming with another one, and I wasn't going to see it. So it's like he hit me. I started to lose my balance and fall. I'm like, let me go ahead and take this. Let me get down and see. But it was like once I got rocked and I tried to start getting back up, and I was like, you can't see anything. What are you going to do, even if you do get back up? So, at that point, it was just like, it's just what the fuck, he got me. Not that it didn't hurt, bro. When he hit me, it hurt. I felt it. I'm telling you, he stung me, but I never like lost consciousness. But I mean, it was enough to do enough damage to my face to really put me out of commission. So but I don't feel bad about it. I think it was a great moment for him and his career to go out on. Because that's like before the fight went on, it was like this is kind of a bittersweet thing because I get to be his retirement fight, but I also might be his retirement fight. where people
Right.
go, he should have retired before this one, type of deal. And I hate watching that happen to fighters, especially ones that I like. You know what I mean? So um, so I'm not one of those guys that thinks it's all about me. There's always a good deal. I know that was the icing on the cake for him, because that's never going to happen to me again, and he's going to get to be the guy that says, yeah, my last fight when I retired, I gave that guy his one loss, and he ended up being the best bare knuckle boxer ever, and so that's a cool story he'll be able to tell his grandkids. So from here on out. If he's retired, I think the only way I can get that one back is if I get that belt, and then maybe I can goad him into coming back for another fight if he ain't too old by that point, and then get a rematch on that one. But it's like I said, I had a lot of respect for him before, and I got a lot of respect for him after. Even more so. So but I think more than anything, I gained a lot of respect for myself and what I'm able to do, and what I'm capable of, because for the first time, I was put at that level and I was tested, and I didn't lose because I was outclassed, or I didn't lose because I wasn't capable or I couldn't do it. I lost because, he was a savvy veteran and he got me. I don't know if it was his plan when the fight started out to run and backpedal, but I'd never seen Chris Lieben do that in any fight he's ever had. And when I came out, he went backwards. And I wasn't prepared for that at all. In my mind, it was this war. In his mind, he'd talk about in press conference, we're coming to the middle, we're going to have this war, and bro, he played me. He played me. It's a slick move on his part. He got me fired up, just chomping at the bit, ready to go. And then he just took a step back and was like, all right, come on. So then, but, I respect him for that. That was pretty cool, but now I know that move too. I know not to fall for that one. So, what I did good was great. And then what I did wrong, I learned from. So, I'm doing all right with it.
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head earlier. I think if anything, I think you gained stock from it, man, because you got the rub elbows with Chris Lieben, right? In a it was a really big event. So you got that rub off of that, you got a lot of eyeballs on you. I guess, okay, it didn't go your way, but I don't know, man. I think you gained some fucking stock from it. It's Chris fucking Lieben. So, I mean, it's not like where's the big negative? Like, okay.
I had some guy making fun of me on Facebook for getting knocked out. And I was like, yeah, because I'm the only guy that's ever knocked out by Chris Lieben.
It's Chris fucking. If you're gonna lose to somebody, right. Chris fucking Lieben, right? So I mean, and then you have that, you were his last match, and he, and he was talking about it at the press conference. What, he's only called out 3 people, and you're one of them,
right?
I mean, that's not something to sneer at, man. I mean, that's I think you walked away with higher stock. I really do.
Right. And it just kind of sweetens the story even more from that aspect, because it was like, he picked me because he was the underdog, and that's how he wanted to go out, and because that's what he's been his whole career. So, it's just a Cinderella story that it would happen that way, so at least I got to be in it, even though I wasn't exactly the main character, but I played a strong supporting role in that one.
100%, no doubt about it, man. And I guess kind of leading out from that, you already kind of talked about, you just been kind of recovering, doing the dad thing, doing the coach thing, doing the business thing. I know that I don't know how much you can say. I know that I've heard you're trying to get a fight this summer, right? Is that we're trying to do this summer? Like, is there anything you can talk about, or maybe an idea of when we can expect you coming back?
Well, I don't know exactly what events are booked, and it's not so much a reason to they don't want me to talk about it, or I don't want to talk about it, as much as I don't want to give false information. And it's not that it's false information, it's just that it's information that as of right now.
Well, how about this? When would you like to come back? How about that? Maybe that's a safer question.
August is when I would love to come back and fight.
Okay.
There's supposed to be a card in August, from what I'm told. I don't know a date specifically or any of that, but that was a timeline we talked about after the Lieben fight, after everything settled down. You know, they were like, "We're looking for you to fight again in August." So that's what I've been planning for this whole time, anyway. So um, I was assuming that when they said that, then they plan on having a show in August. So,
Okay.
but that's what I would like to fight, but um, it all goes down to, you know, who's available, what happens, where we go. You know how all this stuff goes.
Sure.
But yeah, I would
Sure.
like to fight in August. That's my plan. I, you know, at first I was looking to fight a little bit sooner, but then at the same time I kind of need to let my eye heal up a little more, and then I was working on some things, and but now, man, I'm back in full training camp mode. I have been for the past 2 or 3 weeks. Just, you know, we don't have a contract yet. It's just what I enjoy doing that more. I mean, I never stopped training after the Lieben fight. You know, I didn't spar for like a week, and then like the next week I had a headgear on and sparred again. So you know, the biggest difference right now is I'm just eating a lot more. Says it doesn't. I'm not worried about my weight. So. But man, yeah, I want to fight in August. I want to get a good camp. We're talking about trying to go to Puerto Rico in July, or
The El Bandito camp, man.
yeah, going to try
Yeah.
to do bare knuckle camp. Me and Arnold Adams. You know, Arnold Adams is on my goat combat
Yep.
team with us, and
Yep.
you know, that dude, he is. You've met Arnold in person,
Yep.
right? You know,
Yep.
like, you
Yep.
know, kind of on social media and stuff. He's kind of got this. He likes to play this kind of heel role,
Yep.
and
He's a
but man,
super nice
he's
dude.
so funny.
Super nice.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not that he's a heel. He'll call you on your stuff. Like you
Yeah.
say something, he'll be like, "What? No," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff, Rose. But
Yeah.
man, it's so funny. And but he's a very good boxer,
Yeah.
and so I'm trying to get it to where me and him can be down there at the same time and get some work in, and bring my guys and all. We're talking with like working on getting a little YouTube channel started up with my team. I got a producer who's going to try and start filming some stuff. Hopefully, come down there with us to Jungle Camp. You know, looking for sponsors on all that, and you know, just get for real about it again. You know, I had a lot going on right before the Lieben fight, and the fight right before that didn't get a break, so I was playing catch up with my gyms. You know, I've gotten to spend a lot more time teaching jiu-jitsu, and I haven't done that in forever. You know, and that's something that's not something I make a lot of money on or do to make a lot of money. That's something I do because it's like therapy for me.
Yeah.
And it's nice to get back to that, you know, getting to go play with those kids when we're in class and teach them stuff and, you know, and all that. So, you know, that's been fun. So,
Is there anybody maybe you have your eye on, or anybody you'd like to face at 205?
um, who would I like to face? I want whoever has the belt.
Okay.
That's who I always want. I like Lorenzo Hunt. I think that's a very good fight. I was very impressed with his last fight with Josh Dyer.
Yep.
That was, I think you were there, right, at the fights in Birmingham.
I wasn't at that one. No, I wasn't in Birmingham. I wish.
Yeah,
But,
hey, it got wild. Anyway, yeah, but he had a very good fight with Josh Dyer.
yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, why wouldn't you want to fight that guy? You know, and me and Lorenzo are cool. Every time I talk to him, we hang out. You know, we're friends or whatever. And so, but as a fighter, you want to challenge yourself. So there's him. We got Jason Fish. He's been up in the mix a little bit. He talks about wanting to be at 205. So you know, I'm down for that fight too.
I think that's probably just if I put my just leave my fan hand on. I think you and Lorenzo. I think it's bound to happen. I just can't see it not happening. At 205, especially with, and I guess we can get into this too. The title fight with Riggs and Hector Lombard. So, I could see maybe a potential situation where you guys maybe fights for like a next contender kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but I think that would
coming off a loss. So I feel like
but
I really need to have a win before I even start getting mentioned up in that mix. Anyway, not that I don't think I'm good enough to do it or good enough to go take it from them. I fully believe that, but I can't be the person that uses the rankings to my advantage and then tries to act like they don't matter after, when it doesn't play to my advantage. So, if you look at
Fair
it,
enough. Fair
Jason
enough.
is 2-0. I'm 2-1. He had, he might have his third fight and lose. He might not, but regardless, I'm coming off a loss. So, the way it should work, is, I need to get another win before I can even start getting mixed in that conversation.
And I guess my last question, I guess, because I know you got to head out, but this speaking of the Joe Riggs Hector Lombard fight, it's coming up in a couple weeks. I'm sure, obviously, that's going to have your eyeballs all over it. What do you think about that fight?
I really don't know what to think about that fight. I know it's been a while since Hector's fought.
Yep.
He fought once at 205, I believe. No, both of them might have been at 205.
They're both at 205, yeah.
Never actually weighed 205. But
yeah,
man,
right.
that one was a curveball because he kept putting on his social media that he was going to be the next 185 champ.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he was fighting for the belt. So, and then I didn't know Joe Riggs even still fought anymore. But I think that a lot of people are counting Joe Riggs out like he's some kind of bum. And if you've watched his bare knuckle fights, he comes to fight.
Yeah.
He's nobody's bum. You know what I mean? He's not going to just sit there and fold up like when Hector fought Kendall Grove.
Right.
And David Mundell gave Hector 5 rounds of everything he wanted and then some. And I guess the judges just had a weird angle on that one. We'll give him a pass. But so I think that Joe Riggs has a lot better chance than people were saying. He's a veteran just like Hector is, and I think that this is more of his style. He's more of like a tough, gritty type of guy. His nickname's Diesel. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's dirtier than Diesel? You know what I'm saying? You can't get that off of you. So, it's not like a wash either way. You can't just say, "Oh, Hector's going to beat him," because this isn't an MMA fight anymore, and Hector wasn't known for being the best boxer. The reason he knocked people out was because they were scared he was going to take them down.
Right.
And, so I don't know what to say, but I think that they're counting Joe out, and I think people might be real surprised, especially if Hector comes out and he's counting him out. If Hector's not for real about it, I think Joe can give him a reality check real quick, especially in bare knuckle. It only takes that one.
Interesting.
How many times have you seen Joe Riggs bloody and not giving a shit? Every fight.
Every fight.
How many times has that happened to Hector Lombard? How many of those wars has he been in? Like that's when he starts to bleed, Joe Riggs gets going.
Well, I remember the first thing that pops to mind. I've talked to Joe a few times, but right after in BKFC 4 in Cancun, and he and I off the top of my head I forgot the gentleman he fought, but right after the match I talked to him, and he's fucking hands all swollen because his hand it's clearly broke, right. And I'm like, dude, I think you broke your fucking hand. He's like, no, we're good, let's do the interview, we'll talk about it. I don't give a shit. Like he was just pumped, man. Like he's a
different type of person,
different, very different.
You can't count that guy out, especially in a fist fight. Hector can't, get in trouble and then judo flip him on his head or something like that, but at the same time, Hector is an explosive ball of muscle. And if you don't keep him at range, he can knock you out with any punch. So, it just depends on where the fight goes. I think if Riggs comes in light and able to move good and keep his range, I think Hector will be in for a long night.
Yeah, that's it. You're right. I think it's going to be.
Say it now. I'm the only one saying this, but that's the way I feel about it.
No, I think I probably more towards what you're saying, because like you said, like Joe's fucking, he'll get dirty, man. He's not afraid to get in there and take a couple shots. He's not afraid to eat shots, to give shots.
Yeah,
and he's not going to be afraid of. I'm not saying he's not going to respect Hector, but he's not going to be afraid of Hector's shots, right? He's going to get right in there and fucking give it to him. And either way, Hector could one shot, knock him out. Obviously, that could happen.
Hector has a style, in my opinion, that is like he's a one shot guy. He's all of his shots. He's not going to beat you with repetitive boxing. Tagging you from different angles, doing this and that. He's going to beat you by getting you to slip up and bust your ass. That's what he does. So, but that's the deal. When you fight him, you got to be right every time. He just got to be right once when that's style. So that's the key to beating Hector. And it sounds simple, but as you see, it ain't.
Right.
So he's really good at that. But so it just makes the fight interesting. I know that I've seen some of Riggs' bare knuckle matches, and he is a solid boxer. Whoever he's working with, he listens apparently to at least have the good foundations for boxing. You don't look at him and be like, "Who's this guy? What is he doing?" So it's an interesting fight for sure.
100%, man. Well, look, brother, like I said, I don't want to keep it too much longer. I know you got stuff to do. I appreciate your time, man, and hopefully, obviously, we get that announcement, and we'll get that official announcement. You fight in August. Obviously, we'll have you back on. We'll talk about it, all that good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, brother. Go ahead.
A show in October and November and December, so I might be on all of them. We'll just see.
Let's do it.
See what's up,
and we'll have you back for each one too. So I don't give a shit. We'll have you, brother.
Hey,
like I said, appreciate your time, brother.
His Air Mid hemp extracts, they'll have my back too because they're a very good sponsor. And Traxler Chiropractic, he's always got my back, literally. Commercial, cut it.
I need a good chiropractor, man.
Send it in.
Yeah, for real.
I'll start doing y'all's commercials.
That's it, brother. We got you. We appreciate your time, brother. Take care.
Adios.